Ali Abdel-Aziz. He's been a part of the journey with George St. Pierre since dating back to the Jackson Wink days. He's been and like I said, he was at that initial meeting in Las Vegas with Dana White, Ari Emanuel, a real mover and shaker. He joins us right now, not to talk about George St. Pierre, but to talk about his guy, Khabib Nurmagomedov. It was a very interesting week for them. He joins us via the magic of Skype. There he is, right there. Ali Abdel-Aziz joining us from Las Vegas. Ali, how are you?
I'm good, Arya. What's going on? How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for joining us. You've been around this fight game for a long time. I know how much Khabib means to you. How would you characterize last week in terms of how difficult it was to be that close to the big fight, the title fight, and then to see him get sick and not be able to fight? How did you handle it all?
I'm heartbroken. Habib's heartbroken. His father's heartbroken. We all are. But one thing we cannot control: physics, or how your body feels, and everything was on track. Khabib, for the first time ever, was injury-free. Great training camp. Weight on. Normally, Khabib have 5 pounds or 4.5 pounds the day before. He was good, and just when Khabib tore his ACL, he was in the hospital. He was smiling. When he tore his meniscus, he was smiling. When he broke his rib, was he smiling? I was sleeping in the same room as him, or right next to him, and they said, and I went in the room, and he was in so much pain, and I never, the guy, he doesn't even have face expression sometimes, he's so tough, but when something like that happened, we can't control, it's just my heart I go out to the fan because, Tyrone Woodley, and there was a main event, but the real main event, everybody was looking for Khabib and Tony fight. This is what everybody looking. You check the numbers, you check the countdown, you check everything, the child videos, and I was in shock when I see him in the, because I never imagined Khabib to be in pain. I don't know why, but I finally realized he's a human. I finally realized he's a human just like us, because nothing affects this kid.
When did he start to complain about pain?
Like we did the last weight cut. We were Tyrone Woodley in the gym. He always have a tough night. The night before is always tough. Tyrone Woodley was cutting weight. He was cutting weight. Take a shower. Went back to the hotel. Normally, we're supposed to get back up at 6 o'clock in the morning and start cutting the weight. But at 3:45 in the morning, this is when I went to the room. I was right next to the room. My room is next to his room, and he was in so much pain. And after that, I panicked because he's not just somebody I manage. This is my little brother, I have a different relationship with all the guys I manage, because if I can be your friend or we can be like brothers, we can work together, And he's very special with me. He lived in my home. He know my kids. He know my wife. He's like Frankie Edgar to me. He's this close, and everybody know how me and Frankie are close. And I was just I panicked. And the first thing I wanted to do, I want to help him. I want to bring some care to him. I thought about calling the 911, but I thought, listen, we can pick him up. We really picked him up. We held him by his arms. He couldn't even walk. Put him in my car, drove straight to the hospital. On the way to the hospital, I tried to get a hold of the UFC. It was 4 o'clock in the morning by the time I got to the car. Normally, for the last 8 years, I work in the UFC. If any injury, anything happened, you call 2 people, the matchmaker and Dana White. And I did both. But of course, at 4 o'clock in the morning, I don't know who to call, and this is the protocol. I know Dana come out and I should have called the UFC doctor, or I called Brianna, but I never did this before. And you know what? Dana's right. I wish I called Dr. Davison, because we went to this Sunrise Hospital and we was there for almost 7 hours.
Wow.
And they treated us so poorly. And now, I got a little offended with Dana was talking. He's right. If we called the UFC doctor, but I never did before. I didn't know I was supposed to call him. we probably got treated like kings, because,
Yeah.
he's the emergency doctor. He controlled a lot of the stuff at the other hospital. But listen, I don't know if this fight can be saved, or maybe can be saved if we went to a different hospital. But the first thing they wanted to do was Khabib, like Dana said. They want to stick him with an IVs.
Yeah.
Me and the doctor was fighting with Khabib to put an IV in him. He fought for almost an hour and a half. And finally, the pain was so great. Uh, he just got an IV with some medication in it, and we all submitted. Now he waited probably back to 165 or so. There's no way this fight can happen. But maybe if I call Dr. Davison, maybe if I call Brianna, maybe if maybe if they answer, they didn't answer the phone. But it's 4 o'clock in the morning. He's not gonna answer. He's sleeping. People are sleeping. And I don't know if Dr. Davison will answer. Probably he would have, because he worked at night shift in an emergency. But listen, it was very, very one of the worst week of my career as a manager, to see a friend going through this pain and suffering. And listen, did I feel sorry for the fan? Yes. Did I feel sorry for Tony? Yes, but not really after I heard his interview, because he got sick before. The second fight, they're supposed to fight the main event on Fox. Tony got sick. We wish him the best. And I thought Tony handled himself good, but at the end of the day, Khabib he wasn't going to miss weight. But because every fight, he had 5 pounds before. 6 o'clock in the morning, get up, cut the weight, done. But people doesn't understand too. Khabib carried this whole card. He did more interview than anybody. He did more media than everybody. We did everything, and we did that for a reason, to show the UFC, look at the numbers. Every video he did hit over 1 million views. His countdowns tripled Tyrone Woodley's countdown. Shia's video almost got 2 million viewers. He was the show. You understand? Tony was there too. They both earned it. They the best lightweight in the world, and I think I feel that the fan and they got robbed a little bit, because they were looking forward to this fight. And listen, UFC spent millions of dollars to promote Khabib, and I think they did an amazing job promoting Khabib. But when somebody's sick, and Dana White, I got to give it to him. He reached out to Khabib, and he told him the most important is your health, and this is all I care about. And Khabib told me, and I reached out to Dana, and I thank him for it. And and it wasn't really, people can try to say Dana's this and Khabib. That's not true. Even Sean Shelby called. He made sure he was okay. The doctor called. They was very caring about Khabib, and I appreciate it. It wasn't really, Dana said, maybe if we reach out to the UFC doctor, this fight could have been saved. Maybe not. Nobody knows. You understand? But at the end of the day, I think it's physics. We can't control our body sometimes, because our body react the way they want to react. These certain things can be changed or changed for the next fight. Maybe, but it was, everything was normal. Everything was on track. We was ready to go. And Khabib was going to be the, undisputed, undefeated lightweight champion. But at the end of the day, it didn't happen. I'm glad Tony got show money. He deserved it. Khabib didn't, but we're not going to complain, because I think it wasn't the UFC's fault. It's our fault. It wasn't, I'm going to say it was my fault, But at the end of the day, it was a very sad thing, because I see a lot of people say negative things. But can you imagine this is your father or your kid or your son or your brother? Are you going to talk shit about him? Are you going to be negative about him? Or are you going to give him support? You have to understand, Khabib, he speaks his mind. He's a very good kid. But you got all those people, try to diss him. Doesn't really, if you dissing him, we don't need to be as your fan. You can be fan of someone else. But, I saw a lot of support, and I appreciate a lot of the support from the fan. But at the end of the day, like I said, that can be your brother, your father, your mother. And the number one thing you have to be concerned is his health. And that was number one concern. It wasn't my number one concern in the fight. And the UFC wasn't number one concern in the fight. The UFC was concerned his health, because I think his health is worth so much more to me, to the UFC, to the people who loves him more than the fight. And that's it, you know.
Where is he now? Where's Khabib?
Habib, he's in Moscow. He flew back home yesterday.
Okay. How is he feeling?
Listen, he's gonna need some time to recover. You know, his body was, his liver wasn't functioning right.
Put the camera, if you don't mind, put the camera up. You can't see your eyes. There they go. There they are. Yeah.
I said his liver wasn't functioning right.
Uh-huh.
And when you get this kind of illness, you need some time for your body to recover. And he's gonna recover. He's gonna stay healthy. But I know him. He's probably gonna start running probably this week. This is what kind of person I know. He's not gonna sit in bed and relax. But he need to relax.
Do you know what happened? Like what medically happened to him? Was it as a result of, dehydration, cutting too much weight? Did he get a bug? There were people who were sick. We know Overeem got sick. Our own Esther Lynn got sick. Do you know what happened to him?
3 days before the fight, he had a little flu, but he take vitamin C. He was feeling all right.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But it was something very minor. He didn't even need to go to a doctor or anything like that. Like vitamin C, rest and sleeping. When you cut weight, your immune system go down. You know.
Yeah.
But the weight cut, it was. I'm telling you, it was the same as every time. And every time he make weight. Last time he fought Michael Johnson, he made weight. But I think this time something different. His liver, the pain was coming from his liver. But I think it was the hydration for sure. And I think this is part of the process. But I think Dan Leaf, his diet guy, did an amazing job.
Yeah, he's great.
He was on track. He was feeding. He drank 4.5 liters the day before on Thursday. On Wednesday. It can't be the hydration this much. But when you go to a hospital, they don't understand weight cutting, UFC. They look at you, they're going to think you're dehydrated. Yeah. And they're going to stick you with the needles. And they're going to say in a report, use the hydration. But I think it's just sometimes your body, it's going to tell you, no, we're not going to do this. And I'm sure we'll find a better way to start maybe the process earlier, maybe 2 months out, not 6 weeks out, for cutting weight, or just not be as heavy. But he always walk around a certain weight and always make weight. I don't think it was the weight issue. I think it was just his body didn't react right to the weight cut.
So now here's the big question. Everyone wants to know, A, when he's going to return, and B, will they try to rebook the Ferguson fight? Of course, the next big show is Buffalo. Daniel Cormier, your friend from AKA, saying he'd love to have him on the card in Buffalo. Is this a possibility? And if not, what do you think happens next?
Shit, Dan, you want to make money. He doesn't sell much pay-per-view, and he know Khabib is the draw. That's the truth. He want to make money. And listen, but how he's his friend. He want him to recover. He want him to feel better. If he need to recover in 2 weeks, he only gonna get trained for 2 weeks. The fight is almost 4 weeks.
Right.
But at the end of the day, Buffalo is not realistic.
Okay.
I haven't talked to Khabib yet about any fighting. Might be an option. But Khabib is not gonna fight in Ramadan.
Sure.
Ramadan is gonna start May 27. But maybe May, but I can't. Maybe. But I don't know if Khabib will be ready, because at the end of the day, his health and well-being worth a lot to me than me making money or he's making money. Money is coming last, but his health and well-being. And listen, that was, Tony's, he got paid and, but, I'm not sure what happened with him, but, this is the fight everybody wants. He can get out of it or he can wait. It's up to him, but whatever.
Is there a chance, though, that he doesn't
whatever
fight?
You want to do.
Is there a chance, though, that we only see him after Ramadan, so basically like in the fall?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, but if he asking me,
yeah,
I think May 13th, that'll be a perfect day.
In Dallas?
This is me.
Okay.
This is not Khabib.
Yeah.
In Dallas, yeah. I know that'll be an awesome show, but at the end of the day, this is me talking.
Yeah.
I still have to talk with Khabib, his father, Javier Mendez. Me and Javier Mendez on the same page.
Yeah.
We talked this morning, we both on the same page. But at the end of the day, too, I got to make sure my boy is healthy and ready to go and to go put a weapon on Tony Ferguson, he have to be ready.
But to be clear, the UFC hasn't offered you or talked to you yet about what they want.
No, I think the UFC is being respectful to us, and
that's fair.
They're giving us some time. And I think when we're ready to talk, I'm sure we talk this week or next week. They know they stay on top of the stuff. And now, listen, they understand. CNN asked for interviews, Chive asked for interview. They understand now Khabib is a draw, and they need guys like Khabib now. And I think.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. And I think, listen, Tony's fight was a great fight. They're both coming on, 8-win fight winning streak, 9 fight winning streak, and Tony well deserving. And I think this is the fight to make. But this is the UFC's decision. It's not my decision.
Would you consider? Would you feel more comfortable if he goes up to 170?
No, absolutely not, man.
Okay.
He make weight 55 all the time. Why do you need to go to 170?
I don't know. Maybe he's getting older. We've seen this happen before.
No. Khabib, trust me. Khabib is gonna, if he win the belt at 155 and maybe do a super fight with somebody like George St. Pierre at 70 in the future, maybe. But his weight class, he's the best guy in this lightweight division. Nobody's better than him. Why he have to go to a different weight class? He got sick. Tony Ferguson got sick when they're supposed to fight in Florida.
Yeah.
We didn't say nothing, but people get sick. Alistair Overeem almost didn't fight.
Yeah.
But people, and he's a heavyweight, but stuff happened.
What about this report that his dad said he's going to retire next year? Is there any truth to that?
Listen to me. Russian media always saying these crazy things, and they got this one bullshit guy from Bloody Elbow. I'm not even going to mention his name because he's just a fucking scumbag, scums of the scum. M1 used to pay him. They're not paying him anymore, and he's mad at Khabib. He come up with this fucking translation. Khabib's father, listen, Khabib is just only 28 years old. He's not even a champion yet. How people going to say he's going to retire? Doesn't make sense.
Well, maybe his father said, I don't know. I mean, I don't speak Russian.
Listen to me. I talked to Khabib. I talked to his father. Nobody said that. Because I was pissed too. Because why people gonna say that?
Right.
Because I was like, why your father would say that? I talked to his father. He's like, I didn't say that. But I don't really care about it, man. It's like, listen, time to move on. I want to be positive. I want to surround myself by positive people.
Yeah.
And people always, want to say shit, to just to be relevant. You know what I'm saying? If you're irrelevant, you want to say some shit to be relevant about somebody, and this is what people does. They see you when you fall, and they start saying all the stuff about you to get little attention to them. But at the end of the day, I know who these people are. I know their histories, and they'll be exposed. They'll be exposed soon. But at the end of the day, now I'm just want to stay positive.
Fair. Let me ask you about Rashad Evans, another good friend of yours. He fought this past weekend and didn't win against Judo Dan Kelly. What's his future in your opinion? Do you want to see him keep fighting? And if so, do you want to see him keep fighting at 185?
I thought he looked great at 185. He was underweight all week. He just, he didn't look bad at any means. He didn't get hurt at any time, and this fight could have went either way. I personally, maybe I'm biased. I thought he won. But at the end of the day, like the first thing he told me 15 minutes after the fight, he said, I need you to book me a fight right away. He didn't, I think 185 is the right division for him. And I'm going to go back to the UFC, and he have a great relationship with Dana and the UFC, and which we're going to try to book him probably soon.
At 185?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And this kicks off a really busy week for you. As I mentioned at the top of the show, you have Kelvin Gastelum main eventing this weekend. You have Beneil Dariush also on the card against Edson Barbosa. Then you have Corey Anderson against Jimmy Manua headlining the London card. And then you have your new client, Rumble Johnson against DC, and I feel like this is a personal one for you because you've submitted DC as we've established on this show. So this is your chance. And I mean, he's not very he kicked you out of the gym. That's true, right? He said you're not allowed back at the gym, correct?
DC is a full of shit. He never kicked me out. He doesn't have the authority to kick me out.
He's the captain.
Listen, Doesn't mean
This
I got more.
I like the
juice and
feud.
I got Tony Rush there.
I like the feud between you and DC more than the feud between DC and Rumble at this point.
Listen to me, DC. Listen, DC want to sell this fucking fight. DC is actually he's my friend. I like DC, but he want to start. DC kick me out of the gym. He cannot kick me out of the gym physically or mentally or anything. He doesn't have the power to do that. Let's keep this real.
All right.
You know, I all my fighters there. Me on Javier cool, and I know Javier is not gonna kick me out. But me, out of respect of DC, I will not go there if he fight Anthony. But listen, at the end of the day, listen. If he is nervous, he's a little bit older. He have a desk job, and he's fighting a guy. He's fighting Anthony Johnson is not human. You understand? And he understands he has to promote this fight to sell pay-per-view because this is going to be his last pay-per-view to make money.
Whoa.
He's not going to be the champion anymore. I know. And that's the reality, man. Anthony Johnson is going to go there and take care of business.
Rumble's birthday today, by the way.
You want me to help to sell this fight?
Rumble's birthday today.
I know.
So, happy birthday to him. I heard that you said. Did you not say this? When I asked you, I said that DC doesn't want you at his gym, and you said, "Well, AK is not his gym anymore. He only trains at hotel gyms because he doesn't go to the gym because he's on the road so much doing stuff for Fox." Is that true?
That's true though. Every time I turn on Fox Sports 1, they fire the two guys. What's the name of the two guys? Now DC take their spot. DC is like a gangster at Fox. He's the main man. He's the made man. He become a made man.
Yeah.
And now you see him and his boxing coach. What's his name? He training him all the time at hotel gym.
Rosendo.
Every time I go to a hotel, he's a good coach. Every time I go to a hotel room, I see Rosendo hold the mitts for him. At least he's doing something, or in a treadmill. And DC is getting a little bit older. He can't be sparring too much. He have to save his body to the fight. That's the truth.
Okay.
But it's okay. He's my guy. But now, I feel bad he's fighting Anthony. But this is the business. A new guy always come. A champion go away, a new champion come. And on April 8th, there's gonna be a new champion.
Okay. Last quick thing for you. Can we get an update?
Forgot about
what?
Forget about World Series of Fighting. I got 3 guys on the main card too.
That's funny you said that. I was just about to ask you about the 3-headed monster from World Series of Fighting. Tell us who David Branch is going to fight in his debut. When is Marlon Moraes going to sign with UFC? And when is Justin Gaethje signing with UFC? Here we go. Let us know. Break some news.
First thing, the World Series of Fighting
is
going to be March 18th. It's going to be headlined by Lagoy, Sean Jordan, and Lance Palmer is going to fight to defend his title.
Okay.
Marlon, we have no deal with nobody right now. David Branch, I believe he's fighting in Dallas. I think it's been announced already.
No. Announce it for us.
I don't know. It's going to try to get me in trouble.
Come on.
He's fighting in Dallas. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not getting a call from Dana fucking cussing me out.
Okay.
I'm not. But he's fighting. I'm going to tell you, he's fighting in Dallas.
Okay.
Justin Gaethje he's a World Series of Fighting fighter, man. He's under contract with World Series of Fighting.
Come on.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Okay.
He is. I'm telling you.
His next fight will be for who? World Series or UFC?
He's under contract with World Series of Fighting. How he's going to go fight in the UFC?
Well, because we've already talked about this. There's a time limit.
Yeah, you have to understand, man. Hey, World Series of Fighting, this is my baby.
There's your baby. We have the gloves right over there on the desk.
Listen, at the end of the day, everybody's talking shit about World Series of Fighting, but without World Series of Fighting, UFC got more power, Bellator got more power. It's 120 fighter under contract and 120 family World Series of Fighting support. I know.
Sure.
Sometimes you don't agree to things like that, but they give 120 family.
I'm not rooting for their demise. I have their gloves on my desk right over here. These are the facts.
A lot of people, I know you're not, but a lot of people don't.
No, the more promotions, the better.
As a manager.
The more promotions, the better. Yes, of course. We want more options for the fighters so that when they become true free agents, they can see all their options. Is Marlon going to sign with UFC, though, is the question, because they let him go. They said goodbye.
No, they didn't let him go like that. I think Marlon stepped in for an extra fight on the contract.
Sure.
I think, listen, at the end of the day, you never know. We might see Marlon back or World Series of Fighting, because Marlon right now, I'm in a process of negotiation.
Okay.
With a promotion.
Okay.
If Marlon have to get paid, Marlon is not going to fight for a chump change, Okay. Listen, Frankie's fighting soon.
Oh, who's he fighting?
Soon.
Ricardo Lamas? Did he get a new deal? Did Frankie get a new deal?
I'm very close.
Okay.
I'm very close by this much.
Is it going to be Ricardo?
Sean Shelby, so we're very close.
Ricardo?
Listen, at the end of the day, one thing Frankie Edgar does.
Yes.
You give him the right deal. He will sign a deal at 9. He doesn't ask who. He's one guy. He doesn't ask who he needs to fight. He will fight anybody, any day. It doesn't matter. It can be Kong.
Sure.
It can be Lamas. It can be whatever. But Frankie will fight whoever because at the end of the day.
But is it Lamas?
Lamas win.
This Lamas fight? Is this?
I don't know.
Okay.
I know Lamas won it.
Yeah.
I don't know if the UFC won it. It's gonna be up to the UFC. Frankie's if it's not for a title, Frankie doesn't care who fight.
Okay. All right. We've run out of time, Ali. Thank you so much. This was great. I appreciate you clearing it up. Sorry about what happened last week with Khabib, but we hope he's feeling better, and we hope we'll see him back soon enough.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. There he is.
Bye-bye.
Ali Abdel-Aziz joining us, manager, 2-1. Khabib Nurmagomedov, Rashad Evans, and many, many others. As you heard, he has a very busy week coming up. A very busy month. A week as well, but a busy month.